Alright, subscribers and friends and followers here on YouTube on the Richter's Reviews channel. I'm going to do something a little different. I've been talking about this for a couple weeks now, and I'm actually going to show some of my wrestling Masters of the Universe, a couple other special things. This is not my complete collection, but this is my complete collection of my LJN WWF wrestling rubber figures that came out in the 80s. This is all the collection that I have of my Masters Universe, and a couple little other things I have. First off, I'm going to show the Movie Maniacs from Todd McFarlane's toys that came out in I think the late 90s, early 2000s. I do have a Jason and a Michael. I've got Michael put away somewhere, so once I get into that, I'll eventually show him. The Jason I have, unfortunately, I put him in the box with all these rubber figures and all these action figures, and his head flopped off. I guess from all the weight of the figures in a tote. But these are the ones that I do have and that are not put away or have not fallen apart. First off is one of the very first releases that Tom McFarlane came out with is, I'm not sure if you can see, this is Freddy Krueger. Yeah, this is pretty much how I used him. Back when I got it, I took him out of the box, and the box was falling apart and all that stuff. I also have one that came out, is the Blair Witch that came out, and then one of the bigger ones that I have is Pumpkinhead. Yeah, Pumpkinhead. Yeah, I really was happy to have that one. But before I get into the LJN figures, I wanted to show, since everybody's talking about Deadpool and all the two sequels and stuff, I actually have a action figure of Deadpool that came out in, I believe, 97, 98. So, yeah, this is Deadpool. Now, I had a wrestling ring, and I used to use him as a wrestler with a lot of all these other, even not Pumpkinhead, Freddy Krueger, or Blair Witch, but all the other ones I use as wrestling figures, and that's why some of these figures have got like marks and discoloration on them and all that, just because it's years of wrestling with them. I haven't wrestled with my wrestlers or wrestling ring since 1998, so but there's 20 years of getting beat up and tortured and all that definitely take a toll on the color and the body and all that stuff. Now, the Masters Universe figures, I don't have a very big collection, but I do have the Battle Arm Skeletor. Yeah, some of his parts are falling apart, but yeah, and you could roll this thing back and see if I can hit the thing right. Let's see, try this here. And then cut, and then cut twice. So yeah, and then I have Stinkor. Now, he actually came with body armor and everything. I wonder if he still has that certain smell to him after all them years. One of my favorite villains on the Masters Universe was Triclop. You could change his eye around. That's really cool. He's one of my favorites. Another great villain from Masters Universe was Trapjaw. Yeah, Trapjaw. And this, I believe, is from the Hordak collection, I believe. That was from She-Ra. And this is not his original arms, but this is Roboman. This is not his original one of his arms, because one of his arms I've lost over the years. He actually had a Whiplash tail that was connected to him, but this is Whiplash. I believe that's Clamp Champ's arm from the Masters Universe. Now this one is a mixture of a lot of action figures. This is actually Hordak's body with Stinkor's arms and Webster's head. So like I said, not all these figures are falling apart and putting together and all that kind of stuff. But so now we're getting into the main thing of this video. These are the LJN WWF wrestling figures from 1980s. Now, just so you know, none of these are in mint condition. None of these are in fair condition. Some of these are pretty piss poor condition, but when you wrestle with figures and you torture them and you beat them up, they're definitely not going to look exactly the same way when they first originally was produced. But this is just in random. I'm just going to pick them up in random. But this is Paul Orndorff. Yeah, he's pretty beat up. He's got a lot of scuffs and marks, and some of his eyes are starting to deteriorate. But that's Paul Orndorff. The next one here is Ricky the Dragon Steamboat. Yeah, he's definitely needs to be. We need to clean them up a little bit. Some of these are like really bad. And this is Brutus Beefcake. This is before he became Brutus the Barber Beefcake. King Kong Bundy. Yeah, he's definitely needs repainted. His paint's coming off his suit and everything else. This one is a commentator. Is actually the owner of WWE now. That's Vince McMahon. He actually had a finger right here, but eventually just fell off. Another commentator is Mean Gene Okerlund. And a manager and commentator, Bobby the Brain Heenan. He has definitely been through the ringer. His hands are all tortured up. His nose fell off. Yeah. Let's see, which this one? This one is Corporal Kirshner. I don't know if any wrestling fans may remember him. I'm not sure. But he was back, I think he was at WrestleMania 2. Classic. The late, great Junkyard Dog. He actually had a chain that came with him. I don't no longer have it, but I think you can still see the JY Dog on there. Alright, this was, Tito Santana. Tito Santana. Let's see, we got, of course, you cannot forget to have the collection of Hulk Hogan. This is actually my third Hulk Hogan that I got. The other two, one of them I marked up and everything to make him look like a different wrestler. I actually have two of these. I didn't realize, but I have two Ricky the Dragon Steamboats. This one's a little bit better condition. Then we have another manager. We got Classy Freddie Blassie. He came with a little cane on his hand there. He's in pretty good shape for being one of my first that I had. This is the last one I ever got. Well, this one is Terry Funk from the Funk Brothers. Yeah, he's pretty good shape. This is one of the first ones I got. The Nikolai Volkov. The USSR on his shirt here is all gone, but you can still tell a little bit that it's still Nikolai. Then I got a tag team one. I always wanted the one tag team I wanted to get from the LJ Fingers was the Heart Foundation, but I couldn't find them at a good price. Now the backs of these are pretty bad. They've been through the years. This is the British Bulldogs, Davey Boy Smith, which is over here, and Dynamite Kid over here. So yeah, I definitely need to clean them up. Then we have the late Hercules Hernandez. He was a very formidable wrestling opponent. A lot of people may not remember this guy. This is Ted Arcidi. Yeah, his suit's falling apart. He was a pretty big, strong-looking dude back in the day. And no wrestling collection can be without Jesse the Body Ventura. Then we have another manager, which is in pretty good shape considering I've had him a while. Captain Lou Albano, the late Captain Lou. And we have the Uganda Giant Kumala. His symbols on his chest have fallen apart, but That's Kamala. Now this one is one of the very first, other than my first Hulk Hogan, not the one I have, but the very first Hulk Hogan, and the very first other one I have, the two other one down here, and Junkyard Dog, and Classy Freddie Blassie, and Iron Sheik were probably one of the first ones I got. But this is Hillbilly Jim. His arm is definitely missing. Yeah, definitely years of wrestling, torture, and all that kind of stuff as a kid that you get. This is Greg the Hammer Valentine. He's in pretty good shape considering I've had him a long while. And we have, now these two here, I painted a lot just because I wanted to change it up and use them as different characters in my wrestling that I had. But this is Iron Sheik. Yeah, he's painted up. He still has the little boots with the tip on there. He's got paint on his face, but that's Iron Sheik. This is the original Randy Savage I have, but I have painted on him and all. Like I said, when you're a kid and you're wrestling figures and you want to change things up, you change things up. But this is actually Randy Savage. It doesn't look like him as far as all the paint and all that stuff, but that is Randy Savage. And one of the very first ones I've gotten, and I'm still happy to have it. I wish that it was in a lot better shape. But that's Rowdy Piper. Not sure if you can really tell that that's Piper, but he actually came with a skirt. He has Hot Rod written on here. I could see, but not very well. That's Rowdy, the late Rowdy Piper. Now, the two biggest guys in wrestling back in the day, you had Big John Studd. Big John Studd. He had the little blue stripe stars on each side, but that's Big John Studd, the late Big John Studd. And finally, I actually have another one of these, but I didn't show it because he's beat up pretty bad. But this is actually the second LJN figure I bought, and today he is probably the most well-known wrestler the world over, and that is Andre the Giant. Now, they've done two versions of the LJN figures with this. They had him with the long curly hair, and then they did one where he had the shorter hair. I never got to get the one with the shorter hair, but this is the Andre the Giant. This is the actual wrestling figure I bought in 1985. So yeah, that's Andre the Giant. So, if you enjoyed this video and you would like for me to show more of my action figure wrestling collection, please leave comments down below or give this video a like, and I will do more. But I just wanted to show a little bit of what I've got. I've got a whole box sitting over there with tons more. I got the little plastic WWF figures. I've got the WCW rubber figures that came out in the 90s. I got the WCW and the WWF bigger figures that were more bendable, and they weren't all stiff. I've got some comic book action figures. I've got some Turtles. I've got some AWA wrestling figures. So I got tons more. But if you like this video, like I said, just leave a comment and give this a thumbs up. And if you haven't subscribed, please do, and hit that bell button to get updates on the videos I do. And I hope you enjoy the rest of your weekend. And tomorrow, depending on how many views and how many likes I get on this, I'll be doing a review. If not, if I get enough views and enough likes on this video, I'll probably continue with doing some more of my collection. So, thank you for watching Richter's Reviews, and I'll check you on the next one.